Hey, Chase Craig here with Own Boise, and I'm so excited that we're raising funds for an amazing organization right here in Idaho. It's the Children's Home Society of Idaho. In fact, it's one of the oldest organizations benefiting children in our state. It's right in downtown Boise, and I had the pleasure of interviewing Anselme, and he's going to tell us more about what makes his organization so special.
So I've been in this position for 5 years now. In 2016, so today it's now 5 years, unbelievable. I think the most exciting thing actually that I have seen this organization do is the growth of the number of children that we have served in those 5 years. I think since I started, we have probably now served over 20,000 children. So what we do and our mission here is to provide actually mental and behavioral health care services to children. We see children who are suffering from depression, children who are suffering from extensive anxiety problem disorder, eating disorder. We see children with sometimes with autism spectrum or something like that. So a different variety of mental disorders and behavioral disorders that we do provide actually services for those. And these are quite very highly specialized area where if they don't get any help, actually a result of that, what we have seen is that we end up losing kids on suicide and stuff like that because they have not managed to have access to adequate treatment and services. So that's our mission. Our mission here is to absolutely ensure that every child who comes to us gets a chance to be served and be helped so that they can be able to grow into productive adults. If you look already at the history of mental health for children in Idaho, it won't shock you to realize that Idaho right now accounts for having one of the 5th highest suicide rate among young children from age 6 to 17, the 5th highest. Every year, currently, we lose at least 20 to 25 kids every year on suicide. That is with at least the presence of a service like this that helps to at least alleviate some of these issues for some of the children. So the consequence is, one, the high rate of dropouts will have increased big time. Incarceration of juvenile kids end up in juvenile detention and entanglement of juvenile system. It would have been astronomical. The suicide rate, it would not have been just only the 5th highest. I think Idaho would be now the 1st highest of suicide rates among kids. So, and then on top of that, you have to realize the consequence and the impact of that on not only the kids, but the families, the parents, their community, and the state as a whole. That would have been a catastrophe not to have actually any type of service to help these children. If we don't have that, then there is no future for this state. And I think that's really important people to know, that it's not just the children's home that should focus on this, but it's an issue that should be taken by every individual Idahoan, including our legislature, including our leaders in the state, at the local level, they all have to figure out exactly how to invest in providing access to mental health services for kids, because there are so many. The statistics show already that almost about 44,000 kids in Idaho don't have access to mental health services. That's unacceptable. We have the capacity to be able to provide that kind of support, and we should not let those kids down. Otherwise, we are letting ourselves down. I think what we know for sure is that at least many of hospitals that provide at least some sort of counseling services to kids, even psychological testing, for example. It takes at least about 3, 4, 5 months to get in. But here at the children's home, even if we have a waiting list, it's not going to be more than 2 to 3 weeks. And because of the support we receive also from the supporters, the donors, the grants that we get, we are able to also provide sliding scale actually for those who cannot afford it. And if someone cannot absolutely afford it, zero coverage of insurance, we will absolutely provide some subsidy so that they do not go without the service, contrary to what happens to other agencies out there. In addition, majority of our clients actually, I would say more than 50% of our clients are all on Medicaid. And in most cases with Medicaid, there are times when some of treatment will not be accepted, or even if they are accepted, they have limit as to how many sessions they can actually cover. Yet, these individual clients will need at least a significant number of those sessions so that they can actually feel better. So what we do, we ensure that their service is not cut because of that. We'll figure out exactly how to help them so that they continue to have the service they need. Besides the regular cost of operation to let's say keep clinicians here, because you have to have clinicians in order to obviously provide the service. An incredible amount of work that can actually do. You need to have the business office to run the intake and stuff like that. So there is that aspect of covering the operations that facilitates actually the work. But there is also the other aspect of making sure that the remaining dollars are also utilized to go directly to helping a family that is in a dire need of financial support. Meaning, they continue to be seen by the same clinician, and we find a way to pay for the clinician to see the client, even if the client doesn't have any money to cover for that fee. So we use that funding that you will provide to be able to actually subsidize that, so that we can keep the clinicians available to be able to serve those clients. That's how we utilize that donation.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed getting to know more about the Children's Home Society of Idaho from Anselme. And if you want to find out more about their program, we put a link in so you can find out all about what they do. And if you or someone you know needs their services, you can find it there as well. And if you want to be entered to win a MacBook Air and help raise money for this amazing organization, we've also provided a link on how you can do that as well. So thanks so much for checking out this video and owning where you live.